This is a short sequence and a relaxation practice. The sequence prepares you to lie in Savasana in comfort, and it can be done at the end of another asana practice or on its own before you do the relaxation. So we'll start lying down on your back with the knees up and the arms alongside. And then press the feet into the floor, the arms down. Inhale, lift the pelvis and roll up the spine, just rolling up and down the spine with the breath a couple of times. So you roll up and then down, seeing if you can articulate the spine and on the way up and also on the way down, so that there's a nice release through the whole spinal column, moving with the breath. And then add the arms if you'd like, so they come overhead as you lift the pelvis. You can see it coordinates as the pelvis comes up, the arms come down, and as the pelvis comes down, the arms come in the other direction. A couple of those. And then take a resting breath. And shifting your hips, your whole pelvis, towards the right, roll over onto your left side and stack your hands and your hips. And you'd like to be kind of in the center of your mat. Then, on an inhale, roll the upper arm up overhead along the floor and all the way around, opening the chest towards the ceiling. And then reverse that, still the hand on the floor. Inhale as you roll up and exhale all the way around. One more time. This time we're going to circle the arm all the way around. So first up overhead and around. Nice big inhalation. And then across the body back to the starting point. So it's a whole circle. And one more time. And this time as soon as you're open, we can rest here. Take a few resting breaths. And let the shoulder blade, particularly the right one in this case, move down towards the mat. Keep the tops of the shoulders soft and relaxed, and let the arms come directly out of the shoulders. And then breathe softly into the ribs, down into the belly. Really let the whole rib cage, chest, and heart soften and open. Soften the eyes, the jaw, the mouth, so the body begins to release any holding or tension through the spine, the hips, and the shoulders. And when you're ready, we'll come back around and then roll to the other side. So shifting your pelvis to the left this time, and roll over onto your side, stacking the hands. And on the inhale, the arms reach up overhead and out to the side. And then again, reversing that, coming back. And one more time. This time, I'm going to sweep the arm across the body in the front. And then roll open and hold. Make sure you're comfortable here. If you need it to prop the knees or even a prop between the knees, that might help to let the hip or the pelvis relax if you feel tension in the joints, either the knees or the hips or the lower spine. And again, softening the arms. Keep the arms coming directly out of the shoulders. Make sure the jaw, the face, the eyes, the mouth are all relaxed. And let your breath drop down into the lower ribs. And when you're ready, come back around on an inhale. And then roll back to a neutral position on your back. And cross the right ankle above the left knee. And with your hand right above the right knee, you want to press the knee away from the body. This is a gentle hip stretch. Now, you can stay in this position, or if you have desire to have a little more stretch in the hip, which Emily probably does, lift the left foot up, and you can hold underneath the thigh, Keep pressing the knee away from the body, the right knee, or you can hold below the knee on the shin. That's even a little bit more. But make sure your shoulders are relaxed and still on the floor. And then really soften the breath, the jaw, the belly, down into the pelvis. So it's a very deep letting go of effort and a focus mentally that allows you to be aware of the deeper energies in the body and to soften more deeply, using the breath to sensitize your awareness. You can stay here as long as you would like, and you can also move a little bit side to side. It'll change the focus of the stretch around the hip joint. And when you're ready, we'll switch sides. Start by pressing the knee away from the body. You can use your hand on your thigh to really help the passive stretch be more effective. Keep the sacrum flat into the floor and really soften the lower ribs and the back of the pelvis down. So letting go of any effort and allowing the hip to soften and relax. And then to intensify the stretch, drawing the right thigh closer over the abdomen. And interlacing the hands either behind the thigh or on the shin below the knee. Still pressing the left knee, in this case, away from the body. Still keeping the face, the eyes, the lower ribs, and the belly soft. Letting the whole backside of the body broaden into the floor. And letting the breath fill the body. And again, if you would like to move a little bit side to side, that may be of interest. And staying as long as you would like. And when you're ready, you can gently release both feet to the floor. Now we'll stretch across the top of the thigh, the groin, the psoas. And you can do that. This is the wind relieving pose. So draw the right knee in and stretch out through the left heel, lengthening the leg on the floor. Important to really activate through the left side. That's where a lot of the stretch is coming. So reach out through the heel as you draw the thigh over the ribs and the chest. And again, really softening the back rib cage, letting go of effort here, breathing very gently, releasing any tension everywhere. The psoas, which is the deep hip flexor here, is very responsive to stress of all kinds. So it only will release when you actually relax your effort. So breathe softly and allow that lengthening to happen here. You can make this a bit more of a stretch by putting a block or a bolster under your pelvis. A bolster is a little bit softer, but Emily likes the block, so that's what we're giving her. And we'll do the other side this time, Emily, just to show it. You'll want to do the same stretch on both sides, but this is a way to make it a little more intense. So stretching out through the heel, drawing the thigh in, and now you can see that there's much more of an opening across here. But again, the same thing about softening the upper back and the ribs and breathing really in, using your breath as a barometer to check for any holding or tension or gripping that tends to happen deep in the belly. This will make it much more comfortable to actually lie in Savasana. So when you're ready, you can remove the block. And then draw both knees up over the belly. Bring your arms down alongside and just circle a little bit around the pelvis to release any strain or holding in the lower back, around the sacroiliac joint or hip joints. circle in both directions, and you can make the movement as big or as small or as slow or as fast as you would like. So whatever will help you to actually feel balanced and completely released. And then release the feet to the floor. And in Savasana, we'll straighten the legs out. If you are a little bit tender in the lower back, and you can feel the lower back in this position, and it feels, you can feel it at all, you feel tender in any way, you might like to have a bolster under the knees. You can use a rolled up blanket as well. So you would just press the bolster and arrange it in a way that gives support to the lower back. It lets the lower back drop down into the floor. So Emily is perfectly comfortable without that, so we'll let her continue to rest in a flat position. The other place that sometimes needs support is the head and the neck, and particularly if your shoulders are really tight. So you would bring a thin cushion under the head and neck to support. So in Shavasana, now bring your attention to the back of the body and soften through the whole backside. Think about the back of the body spreading and sinking down into the floor. Let the floor support you. And then be aware of the axis of the body. You can sense from the pelvic floor through the crown of the head, and allow the arms and the legs just to fall open from that axis symmetrically. So the arms are slightly away from the side of the body, but they're equidistant on either side. And the same with the legs. They're slightly apart, but they're falling open equally from that center axis. And then soften the back ribs and let them drop down and broaden, so as much of the back as possible is supported on the floor. And then the breath can relax. As you pay attention to breathing, the breath will guide you to the places in the body that still might be tense or gripping. So you can soften around breathing to allow the body to breathe in the pace that it needs. Letting go of any effort in breathing. And allow the breath to become smooth and even. Breathing as if you're breathing through the pores of the skin. The whole body surrounded and supported by the breath, the body resting on a cushion of the breath, the mind resting in the body. Now be aware of the floor beneath you and the space around you. Sense the movement of the breath, the touch of the breath in the nose, the touch of the breath in the body, and feel how the breath connects the inner and outer space. And then take a slightly deeper breath and gently move the fingers and toes. Take this inner feeling of ease and spaciousness with you as you come back into movement. And when you're ready, gently bend the knees. And roll to your left side. And take a breath or two here. Letting the breath stabilize, letting the mind settle. And when you're ready, you can come up to sitting. And take just a moment with your eyes closed. Bring your attention back down through the body, letting the breath settle, letting the mind settle, remembering this inner sense of unconditional well-being. And let that inner feeling of spaciousness and ease, of comfort, of awareness go with you as you finish your practice. And let that inner sense of gratitude fill the body, breath, and mind, and go with you through your thoughts, your speech, and your actions. Namaste.